be good to go.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Kawabunga Ranger Talk. Today we are covering sort of a free-form video that we had alluded to before. Um, we're going to be talking about a variety of topics that we don't usually cover on here on this channel, but since this is a free-for-all kind of thing, sort of a free form, that's why we want to do it because, give a little variety to it. And sometimes there's not always, oh, look at the Ninja Turtles, oh, look at the Power Rangers. All right, let's talk about something else for once, once in a while. Obviously, we're going to stick to it, but, that's that. Dave, why don't you say hi, man?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, we're not going to be talking about Power Rangers too much today. There's a few things I think that's probably going to come up later because when we talk about everything. So, yeah, today's just kind of our little hobbies, our stuff we do outside the average Ninja Turtle Power Ranger stuff. So, I know Mascara has a few things he wants to talk about beforehand. So, little
Yeah,
newscast here.
yeah. Okay, so um, some news that's maybe news, maybe not. So this is kind of weird news, if you will. There's some restocks for the Lightning Collection figures, the remastered ones. But here's where the thing keeps getting weird. The pre-orders that are coming up in 2024 are coming up and then they're being canceled and then they're coming back and then they're switching dates. So it keeps moving around. So it's not a secure thing. Big Bad Toys sent out an email that yeah, we were planning to send out the the
The
Lightning
shipment,
Collection. Yeah, Wave Two of the remastered, which was the Red Ranger with the shield without a head, the Pink Ranger, and the vestless
green.
Tommy. Yeah,
Yeah, the Green Ranger. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
I
they moved
saw
it down.
that.
Yeah,
I saw
it was
that on
weird.
one of my Facebook groups that I'm in, and yeah, a lot of people are disappointed. And again, if you do Entertainment Earth, they say nothing because unfortunately, even though I'm an affiliate of Entertainment Earth on my channel, they don't really say too much about cancellations until it's way past due, and it's kind of sad, really, because their prices, their shipment is really good, but the cancellation thing is kind of not there with them. So like if you hear Big Bad Toy Stores saying they're not getting the shipment in, most likely Entertainment is the same way. I hate to say it, guys. I know everybody shops at different places. Some people just shop at Walmart. Some places, Amazon. Some people, Target.
Yeah,
Uh, but if one place isn't going to get it, I'm pretty sure the other ones won't get it. But look out, Burlington might have them soon.
maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It actually leads into the second news thing. So there's a lot of clearance stuff hitting again in February for Burlington, Ross, uh, DD's. So if you guys are around there, you might want to check those out. It might be some Power Rangers, it might be some He-Man stuff, but there's another shipment of merchandise pretty much hitting the outlet stores right now.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I wanted to talk about was the the rise of the not rise of the Ninja Turtles, the Ninja Turtles, the new show that's following the Mutant
It's
Mayhem movie.
yeah, Rise of the Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Yeah, the date's been moved because it was. Remember, we had talked about a couple times that it was supposed to be April. It was supposed to
Yes.
release in April, and because it's the character and whatever. Now it's looking like late summer or fall
Oh, dang. Okay.
because it's been moved from the TV schedules, so it's not ready. I mean the strike and all of these things kind of pushed it back, so you never know. Maybe like I said in another video, maybe the animation's done, but they don't have voice actors to fill those animation roles. Like you're playing the Wingnut in the TV show, well, or something.
Yeah.
Might be that because I can't think of anything else that would be the problem. I mean, they outright own Nickelodeon. Viacom owns Ninja Turtles, so
Mhm.
there shouldn't be a disconnect. It's like it's I guess it's not a cash cow as a steady stream like SpongeBob, because like it or not, SpongeBob is a steady stream of money that keeps revenue. And the fans of SpongeBob are kind of like almost legacy fans now. They're almost like Simpsons and King of the Hill, like one of these long running shows, because SpongeBob is
Yeah,
old. SpongeBob
SpongeBob
is
is old.
he's got to be over 20 years old on TV, right?
Yeah, yeah, about that. Yeah, because I was in high school, middle school. I think it was high school when it came out. Yeah, and that's from 2002. Was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
last year. So yeah, it's been
2001,
over.
2002 came out
It's yeah,
around there.
and maybe before that too. It might have came out in the '90s even. I can't remember. It's been too long.
I know,
Uh,
yeah, the O's definitely were like the boom period for SpongeBob, like 01, 02 up until
yeah,
2010. The tens were good for it too. I mean, but it wasn't the pinnacle. I think the pinnacle must have been like, if we're just talking SpongeBob for a second, the popularity, I guess it would be like 2014, 2015. That was its biggest, and then it's gone steadily declined, but it's still a money maker.
yeah.
It's still creating revenue. It's not as big as well, it is actually. It's not as big as it was before, but it's still got really solid numbers, which is a good thing. Another one that would kind of be like the parallel to SpongeBob as far as like the branding and the fan base would be Fairly Odd Parents. Fairly Odd Parents
Oh yes.
had a really long run. You
Oh,
know,
actually, I think it's Netflix. Netflix, yeah, I think Netflix had a live action Fairly Odd Parents.
yeah,
Yeah, that
those
was the weird thing. That was weird. I
they
watched a little bit of it. I just no.
they they did like four TV movies
Yeah.
with the kid from Drake and Josh.
Mhm.
Drake, I think,
Yeah.
and he is way too old to be playing. That's like
Pl- Playing Timmy. Yeah.
that's an
Yeah.
old ass Timmy, bro.
I totally agree with you on that one. That is an old ass Timmy. Yes. Um. If I cut
Yeah.
out, let me know because my mic's having issues. I
All
did
right.
it. I did a record a little off subject. I did a recording for my very first YouTube channel. I had the headset on like this, and I was hearing a little bit of popping and stuff. I want to listen back on it, but it was a trial and error video. Okay, so it was a trial. Basically, I tried to do something like this instead of doing all this editing, just a one shot talk and see what would happen. And because I guess, okay, off subject a little bit from our normal conversations, but on YouTube right now, there's a trend, and the trend is no editing. That's the newest trend: is do not edit your videos. Just go with it. Let all the bloopers happen. Make it as realistic as possible.
Yeah,
And
fresh
so
run.
yeah, that's what I tried to do with this video. And it has nothing to do with the DTV83 videos. This is a different channel altogether that I had for the last, I think it's about 2 years now, 3 years now that I've had it. It's not a very, it took a while to get to where it's at, where the DTV83 kind of just boomed because it was on the right time schedule for Power Rangers. It had just happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, my mic has issues. Let me know because I was having issues earlier.
Yeah. Oh, you're sounding fine. You're
Oh,
good.
good.
Okay. Well, that kind of wraps up the news for now. I mean, unless you have something else for news.
No, I'm
Uh,
just still waiting for hearing about the McFarlane Power Rangers. Because Hasbro is pretty much dead without telling us that they're dead. Until a new show comes out. That's what they do. They wait for a show to come out before they release anything. But if some reason the reboot doesn't happen or a movie doesn't come out, it's dead in the water. Unfortunately, because that's how Hasbro works.
yeah. Well, now that you mentioned that literally just reminded me of something I wanted to kind of gloss over, and then we can get into our 3 and 3 topics.
Hmm.
Uh, the I think the first episode already released for the new Super Sentai show. I don't know if you've seen it, the
Oh, the
trailer
one with the
for it.
new, yeah, the car one, the
Oh
one
my
that's like
god,
it's like the new
that is
turbo, but yet different. Yeah,
that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god, bro. They literally grab a wheel and they bash it into a helmet, and then they
I
call it
ha-
the helmet. You know?
I have not seen it yet. I've been trying to put it off because uh growing up being watching Turbo's a little spot here, knowing that they're going back to cars and stuff. I have
Yeah,
seen the pictures with the helmets, and they just look funky. They look really funky. The helmet,
they put a
the suit
wheel
is
right in.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
the suit's fine, but the helmet is like okay. You're running out of ideas.
yeah, big time. Because the suit is basically a NASCAR suit. It's not. It
Yeah,
doesn't even look like a Power Ranger suit. It's like a NASCAR suit with a Power Ranger with a wheel on top. It's like it looks like something you see on Fortnite. Like you put these three different
yeah,
things together, and there's your Fortnite Power Rangers. Basically,
yeah,
that's what they
pretty
are.
much. Yeah.
Boom Ranger or something like that. Looks god awful, and it's crazy because I don't know why they went with such a radical design when in other designs recently. I don't know if you saw this the other Sentai. I think it was the last one, the one that was knights, but they were like spider knights or something. Like
Spider
their
Knights.
helmets were like spider, you know, influenced, but they were like knights, and
No,
they
the
had
the
they had a purple one and all that. Those look pretty good, but this new boom Ranger, whatever it's called.
no, the last one I saw was maybe it was the night one. They had
Yeah,
one where they took like the Dragon Zord and combined it, but it wasn't the Dragon Zord. It was like the Power Rangers turned into the Zords themselves, and then combined into something else and combined into something. It was just really weird Sentai show. And it also I started going through a rabbit hole because I found the character on Amazon for like $50, and it was an actual Sentai. You take it and you move it this way and that way, and it becomes
yeah,
that. And it's a Dragon Zord something. And it made me go down a rabbit hole thinking, oh, it's an off brand. That's got to be an off brand for some odd reason, but they're labeling it as Bandai. No,
yeah,
it's part of the one of the Sentai shows, and I was just like, that's kind of interesting.
yeah. They
Yeah,
they did that. I don't. You remember Mystic Force?
Mystic
Mystic
Force,
Force.
yes.
Mystic Force. They did that because the Rangers would like grow giant, but as they grow giant, they turn into the Zords. But kind of made sense because they're mystical and whatever. It kind
I,
of worked with the
uh,
themes.
I think this might be the Sentai version of that, but
Because
not because the Sentai versions of stuff gets changed when they're over here more and more now. Not
yeah,
like when MMRP first came out, where it was just a one-to-one recreation with American kids. Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
anyways,
yeah. Those adaptations can vary, but
oh yeah.
yeah. So our my first topic, because since we're gonna just talk about different things, uh, I have my little cheat sheet here. So I wanted to talk about Masters of the Universe,
Okay.
the Origins line. The Origins line seems to be winding down, but at the same time they're stretching it. And I like this, but there's characters that should be released that they're not releasing. Like I don't know how familiar you are with Masters of the Universe.
The new toy lines, no. The TV show, yes. I
Well,
grew
this
up
is
watching the
yeah,
show. Yeah.
yeah. Well, this is Origins. Origins
Okay.
is like the original 80s show, the original
Okay.
80s figures, but they're updated articulation and they have a bunch of points of movement and a lot of range and a lot more durable, and they're modular so you can switch out pieces and things like that. It's a really good system of figures and stuff. But they're not making like Adora. Adora is what Shira turns into, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
okay. They
Um.
haven't done that character. They haven't done a proper Prince Adam. They had a Prince Adam, which is like uh, would be like Clark Kent to Superman. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
They released one, but it comes with like this vehicle thing, and they had it with the ugly face, not with the modernized face. The face that looks like he's got a bowel movement. That face. Yeah,
Yeah.
that face. So there's that, and it's expanded past just being the original toy line recreated because they're creating characters that they didn't create before in the 80s.
Were they part of the
So
cartoon line though?
no,
Oh,
this okay, the Origins line has been going on for about 5.5 years or so.
okay.
It launched pretty close to when the Lightning Collection launched, so they're um they're like cousins, if you will, toy line
Yeah.
cousins. But what they decided to do is they've created play sets, and the play sets are pretty cool, and they've also created characters that were like concept, a lot of concept characters. Like if you look at the packaging art or something for one of the characters, they have another character in the corner, but you didn't see all of them. Now they make them
Yeah.
into a figure
Okay.
because just to keep stretching out the line and growing the brand. And it's a good idea. It's very, very smart. I mean, you have a buck that you use basically for all of the characters, which is genius of Mattel.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of part swapping, and it just saves on tooling, it saves on plastic, it saves on a million things, and it gets these figures out faster, which is always a good thing because you don't want to wait forever for these things.
Oh, of
And that was
course.
yeah, and that was the original line that they've modernized it and they've expanded to characters they never released before, right?
Yeah.
Then they expanded it even more to start doing the TV show, some like two or three little characters of the 2000 X show, the Mike Young show of He-Man
Hmm.
and the Master Universe. So, and they did He-Man and Skeletor and Evelyn in the 2000 X versions. They didn't update the He-Man head though. That was weird. The He-Man head is not what it should be for the Mike Young, and they kept it with the original crotch when it in the 2000 X show. He has a longer loincloth, so you could have a felt long. Uh, it,
Loincloth.
yeah, it's not a big deal, but at the same time, for the look of the character, if you're going for that look, go for that look. Like Ninja Turtles, like if the look of the Ninja Turtles in this show is little bandanas, what the fuck are they doing with long bandanas? No, long
Yeah.
bandanas or for like for movies stuff like that. Yeah, and then
Exactly.
they've been expanding it more and creating exclusive characters for the so that's the second line that they did, right, the
Yeah.
2000X. The third line is bringing back the space He-Man in space, the Adventures of He-Man, but in the Origins line. Okay, so now you got three. They've done a few. They've done He-Man and Skeletor in a multi-pack, and then they released them single. So there's versions of those single versions of that character. Uh, and now they've expanded it again this year. This last year they expanded it to the filmation. So this is to the 80s show, the TV show.
Okay.
So if you want a He-Man that looks like the cartoon, now's your chance to get him. You want a Skeletor that looks like cartoon, you want a Tila, you want a Man at Arms, Beastman that look like cartoon, you're getting them now. All right,
Yeah.
so that's your fourth extension. And that this year, technically is the fifth extension of the brand with the Master of the Universe Ninja Turtles crossover, because that's a
Yes.
line, that's a subline, but you
That
know what I mean.
is.
It's got multiple waves inside. It's not just a couple of these like loose characters. Like
Yeah. But do they have Grayskull? Have they made Grayskull yet? Like I said, I'm not a. I
yeah,
haven't. Yeah.
yeah. They
And
made the Origins Grayskull,
okay.
and then they make Snake Mountain, and they also made Eternia. I don't know if you
And
remember that playset, the Eternia one.
no, I only had Grayskull when I was a kid. And then I had He-Man, a Skeletor that had a weird flip head thing. There was like Skeletor being the normal Skeletor, and then you turned to yellow. It was a weird little toy. And then I also had He-Man's what was his name? It was like the cat from He-Man.
Battle Cat,
Battle
Battle
Cat.
Cat. Yeah,
Yes, I had him too. Uh, Yeah, I think that was all I had was Gray. I don't even know where I got Grayskull from. I just
Yeah,
remember because I think it was expensive. And back in the early or late '80s, early '90s toys like Grayskull, the Zords, the Megazords and stuff were like expensive. Comparatively speaking to what you can buy for $40 on Amazon now.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember my parents, got me the right Tiger Zord, and that thing, God, I don't even know how much that was back then, but I know, uh, I do have the Xeomorpher. I know this is off subject, and I have the package, and it said it was $20 on the package, and that was back in the '90s. So if you think about what the inflation would be today for that kind of toy,
gotta be
it's
at least 60. At
yeah.
least 60. Yeah,
Exactly, and it's just crazy. To me, it's crazy to see the prices changing. Yeah,
yeah, because a toy that was $5, back then is at least $10 now. I remember as a kid, uh, my parents used to take me to Toys R Us and Lionel Playworld and these and KB Toys and places like that, and they'd have the Ninja Turtles, the new Ninja Turtles. They'd have them for like 4.79. Like for if you got $20, if you got a $20 allowance, you could get four turtles and you were straight. So
yeah.
you could technically get a okay. These are the sewer spitting turtles. Oh, you got all four for $20. You're not getting shit for $20 these days, bro. This
No, um,
maybe $100 for all four turtles and more or less.
well, yeah, because like the new Ninja Turtles, the ones that just came out from Seth Rogen, uh,
Yeah,
I on my channel again, I did the review of the double packs, the battle packs, and each one cost me 20, and it's not a bad deal because if you look at it, the cost of each character is $10 each
yeah,
on at Walmart. So a battle pack that's a Walmart exclusive, I guess. I really that's something that really bugs me is these exclusives. You have to get them at a certain spot or you can't get them. Um, yeah, $20 for each. That's like $80 for it, and you get one turtle and one bad guy. So to collect the whole set wasn't too bad at that time. Now you got the other bad guys coming out, but still no April. I'm surprised April has not released yet.
yeah. I think she's coming with the baby versions of Rocksteady and Bebop and the baby version of Gecko, Mondo Gecko, and all of those, and like 70s Splinter with the afro and the and the dirty shirt.
Right?
Yeah. If they do that, you gotta figure there's gonna be like a wave five with like regular baby rat Splinter that they
Exactly.
that they're gonna have to pair him up with somebody else. I mean, unless they just do like a rat pack and like Splinter and a bunch of other little rats and put him for
That's
ten
too
bucks.
weird. That's too weird for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be cool since we're kind of talking the the Rise show. It'd be cool to see them incorporate Rat King into the new show, but I wonder how that you have so many avenues to go there. But getting back to my topic is not to we
Yeah,
can
so, sorry, we kind of
yeah
went off
yeah
subject to give.
yeah
We're good at that. We're
yeah.
good at that.
So there's uh there's that, and I'm hoping that they get a few more characters to just at least give me core characters. If like the I like the 2000X show, so if you did three characters, at least give me Tila, the 2000X Tila, give me Man at Arms 2000X, because they did a sort of a Man at Arms 2000X, but they did him with the skin, the snake armor type thing, and I just want a regular Man at Arms from the 2000X show.
Yeah.
Uh, that also leads to the Masterverse line.
Okay.
This is a really cool line. I like it a lot. They've done really good as far as articulation and things like that. Also, they've they've created a system here where they can share some parts, kind of like the Origins, but these characters are actually made for an adult collector, which is funny because they're both made. Both lines are made for for adult collectors. Because no kid today, no 7 year old's gonna know about Master of the Universe in 1982. Get the fuck out.
No,
No, bro.
no,
And, you know. By the way, then I don't know if you saw the newest season of this show, the Revelations Revolution.
no. I have not. I've heard of it, but I haven't actually seen it.
It's a tight story. It's not bad, but it's a pretty tight story. And for this, the one point I kind of wanted to do is just to say, you know, I hope that they keep making movie figures in this scale. I hope because the He-Man movie that they've done in Masterverse, they've done Skeletor and they've done He-Man. They just released Evelyn. I hope they do Tila, Man at Arms, and you know what? What the hell? Do a 2 pack of Courtney Cox and Wildor.
There you go.
You know you're gonna make a Courtney Cox figure sooner or later.
Yeah,
Just call her, get her to sign the release, and man, let's move on, bro. Like, I don't know why that movie's always been such a pain in the ass to make figures for. Like
yeah,
Dolph Lundgren didn't want to have his likeness in the damn figure, and they had to call it the William Stout collection in the original class. Come on, bro, this it's a movie. I hate when things are un unreasonably complicated. And with this, I'll kind of end my point, and then you can
okay.
start your topic. One of the most complicated things that I loved, and I still like it a lot, is the Crash Bandicoot license.
Crash
The
Bandicoot. Okay.
Yeah, the video games. They were
Yeah,
originally made for PlayStation, and then Universal owned it, and then they didn't want to do it just on PlayStation. They wanted to move over to Xbox. And bro, you just make it so fucking complicated. We live in a time where we live in a time where Power Rangers has been bought and sold at least 4 times. Ninja Turtles has been bought and sold. Marvel has been bought and sold. Star Wars has been bought and sold. You know what I mean? Like you can
yes.
buy Star Wars, but you can't seem to get this fucking Bandicoot issue. Sorry, not to curse too much.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, but to the
Yeah,
fans, I try not to
yeah,
curse. But really, you can't freaking get this damn Bandicoot organized, bro. And then they take like a 12-year break. They literally jumped through. They didn't do anything for PlayStation 3. And then they come out with a PlayStation 4 version of Crash Bandicoot or PlayStation 5, the remaster. Come on,
yeah.
bro. Tighten
Well,
up.
that
I don't
that's the
know.
thing. If with the Crash Bandicoot, it's on all the systems now. Now you don't have
Now, yeah.
PlayStation. You can play the Xbox. You can do it on the Switch. I mean, again, it's one of those characters that will never die,
But
but
it
it was
wasn't
never.
meant for that. That's
Yeah,
the
it
thing.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't meant to be the.
It was supposed to be the Sony mascot. And like, I don't know what Sony's problem is that they can't just cut him a check and here, let's buy Crash Bandicoot and be done.
Well,
Bro, you know how fucking sorry, not to curse again,
no,
but
no,
you
no.
know how crazy it is to even buy the George Lucas license? You know how crazy it is for you to get the license for Star Wars, for Indiana Jones,
Hmm.
Ghostbusters. Come on, bro. Like all of these major franchises have been able to get
Yeah.
organized, but Crash Bandicoot seems to, I don't know, miss the
A-
mark. You know?
And see, you just brought up a good point. Ghostbusters. Guess what Hasbro's doing? They're doing more Ghostbusters stuff. Why? Because the new Ghostbusters movie is coming out, and that's my point with the Power Rangers. There's got to be something to push the product, and unfortunately, there's always something to push the MMR product. It's called us, as the consumer ourselves
Yeah,
are wanting it and wanting it. And everybody talks about it. You watch any YouTuber
yeah,
talking about the Lightning Collection. Is it coming back? Is it not coming back? They always say the same thing. I hope it doesn't go away. I hope it doesn't go away because honestly, it doesn't need a show. It doesn't need a show. Crash Bandicoot doesn't need a game. Just keep it on PlayStation, like you said, as the mascot. Mario never dies as a mascot. He's always the Nintendo mascot. It's just what it is.
yeah.
And people are going to always play Mario games. My son got the new Mario game, Mario Wonder, for Christmas. Guess what? He beat it. But you know what? He's still playing it because it's fun. And that's the thing. Hell, I still play the original Mario game every once in a while. I'll pop it in to my console, and this is kind of where I'm going with this. One of my topics about
Yeah.
price differences of, and it's gonna kind of based around Lightning Collection because it's gonna happen soon. People had these sets, the full set of one, or they missing one out of the set they couldn't get. Like let's say the Psycho Ranger set. The green Psycho Ranger is one of the harder ones to find, and because the Lightning Collection's on hiatus, you can get it online and find it, and it wasn't too bad at price. It's like $50, and that's not bad for a restock. But because Lightning Collection is going up for hiatus for God knows how long, all those scalpers are going to be going up in price. It's going to be up, 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 and it's they do this to everything. I mean, if you look at any toy line, anything that's collectible, and that's the thing,
Yeah.
collectible people pay extra amounts for collecting items that means absolutely nothing to the person that owns it. Because if they meant something to the person that owns it, they wouldn't get rid of it. But because I know there's people like me, you, and thousands of other people that collect other things, like I'm a retro gamer. I have an N64 right in front of me. I have a Wii right in front of me. I have a Retron 5 to play all my original games, but I have to go out and hunt them down because, things like this. And this one says not for resale, but guess what?
Yeah.
I found it in a game store and they sold it to me for like $3. And it's in perfect condition. I mean, it's
Yeah.
literally perfect condition. It plays no problems, and
Is
or
it the
the other,
whole game?
it's
Is
the
it the
whole
whole
game.
game?
It's the whole game. Or the other one I do,
I
and this
have
one
that,
you have
but
it.
the one I yeah, but what I have is I don't know if you have this version too. When we're since we're talking about cartridges and all that stuff.
Hmm.
You remember when they used to give cartridge sample games, like they put the first
Yes.
3 or 4 levels on it,
Hmm.
and that's why it would say not for sale because it wasn't the complete version. Like
Yeah.
video games and cartridges are always condensed. So if you bought like
Hmm.
Super Mario 64 or Super Mario 3 or something, it's all in the box.
Oh
But
yes.
these not for sales were actually review versions that were sent to people to try out the game,
Mhm.
but you could only get 2 3 levels,
Well,
and
this
it was
one
sad.
is this one's based. This one was one of the original console cartridges, the one that would
Yeah,
come with the Sega. And I know it's the full game because I've actually went all the way to Doctor Robotnik from level
okay,
one to, yeah. But for me, being a collector of video games, and this is kind of where I was kind of going with it originally, is you guys all know that game, I'm sure, but not by the way it looks, because the
Zelda.
one we had, Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is the Japanese version of Zelda Ocarina of Time, straight from Japan. There's a guy I deal with that lives in Tokyo, and he will game hunt for me, and I have all sorts of Japanese exclusive cartridges, basically, because ours was gold, and I thought, well, this one looks cool. You can't, I don't think you can see it on. I'm gonna zoom in, but I don't think you guys can see it on camera. But the detail work of this, you can see the Master Sword, this Hylian shield, and if you look really close, you can actually see Link riding a horse. But I can't see it on my screen, so. But yeah, it's the Japanese version, and there is a few differences, and that's kind of what I like is to collect video games, and if they're straight from Japan. And this guy isn't like upscaling the price because he knows that he can buy this for $5 US, because in Japan these are considered junk. It's just a junk piece of cartridge, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's 100% right. But in Japan, you could buy video games like this, retro games, for like absolutely nothing. And it's kind of neat. Like, I actually have a game that I cannot play because I don't have original Super Nintendo, unfortunately. But it is Power Rangers Turbo, the video game. It never was released over here, and it comes with this. You have to have a special adapter with it that was made by I think it was made by Konami. But yeah, it's unique and it looks fun. I've watched videos of it, and this guy has a YouTube channel, and he'll like test the games out on his live stream. So he'll Sega Saturn, whatever he has for games he has to test, he has it, and it's fun because like I go on his website, and you'll get games like Mario 3 for the Famicom, and it's like $2. And of course, the idea is you buy a lot of the different games at once because shipping is the most expensive part of the whole deal. So
Hmm.
if you buy more, theoretically the shipping costs less because you pretty much have it. And those games that I have, like for the Wii, Ju-On, The Grudge, and it's fun. But to find it over here, because I was talking to people over here to find that game for the Wii, $300 for it, and it's not that great a game. But I wanted it because I'm a big fan of horror and horror movies, the Japanese horror movies, and prices on eBay for this stuff, scalpers, on eBay for this stuff is just ridiculous. Like just like I said, the Zelda game for this copy on eBay sometimes goes for $50. And it's like, and it's not even in Japan; it's in New York City. Because it's a rarity over here. Oh, it's got to be worth a lot of money. No, not really. It's still a N64 cartridge when it comes down to it. But again, you got the remaster line of Power Rangers. We're gonna go back there because it make more sense for our viewers. The Power Ranger line remastered, it's supposed to come out, right? Big Bad Toy Store, and this was gonna get crazy because Big Bad Toy Store goes, well, it's not gonna come out until the end of the year or whatever it was. I can't remember what it says. But
Yeah,
those
fourth
scalpers,
quarter.
yeah, these scalpers are like, oh well, people want them right now, and I got two of them in my house. I'm gonna go sell one, and if that sells, then I'm gonna go buy more and hope to God I get them so I can make more of a profit. So they're gonna take an item that was $35 and bring it up to probably 75, 80 or more. Or you can go to AliExpress and get it for like $40 and hope to God it's in the original box and not broken or something, because you're not gonna get a return on that one either. But
Yeah.
on eBay, you can ask the guy to take it out of the box, make sure everything's there with it, because they're supposed to. Like if you ever worked with eBay sellers, I'm sure you have. You can ask them to do whatever you want, and as long as they're willing to do it, it's a better business call. Because if you go, oh, can you take pictures of the inside of a I don't know video game console because you modded it, and if they say no, that's usually a red flag. You could do that with the toy line too, like um, okay, so I got a Dragon Dagger from Japan. We would know it as the Legacy Edition, but
Hmm.
over there it was called what do they call it over there? Something Labs, Tasku Labs or something. Same Dragon Dagger, different songs. And the guy had pictures of it, and the description said that something was scratched on it. It was the base coin. The coin that came with the base said it was scratched. And of course,
Hmm.
the American one didn't come with the base, and I think that's kind of weird. But anyways, and it was a big dragon dagger, but it's supposed to have scratches. And I'm like, okay, well, can you take pictures of it? The pictures couldn't show it, but you know what? I still bought it, and guess what? There's a hairline scratch on it that no one's ever gonna see unless you really take a good look at it.
Hmm.
It cost me $400. I won't lie, it cost me $400 for this Dragon Dagger, but again, it's Sentai fan. I wanted the Sentai fan, even though I'm a JDF fan, Sentai. But again, price ran up because they don't make it anymore. Scalper. All these Hasbro Lightning Collection scalpers know what they're doing, and they're gonna make the Lightning Collection fans that have of missing the pieces of certain ones are gonna be just paying up the sorry about this, paying up their ass for it because they want them. I mean, if I was a collector of Lightning Collection and I ordered all the remasters besides one because I couldn't order it because it was sold out or something, yeah, I'm gonna probably go hunt it down because I want it. Same thing with the Super 7 stuff. But luckily for Super 7, they keep releasing their products and not just Power Rangers, but also the Ninja Turtles. You can see the restock on Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, and that's something else I was going to talk about. Actually, was the Super 7 line of Power Rangers a little bit because there's no talk about it. There is no talk about it, like I said last time, and I still keep looking for it. I don't know if there's a controversy with Hasbro about not being able to release anything else because it's pretty much dead in the water too. Or my other thought is, did Hasbro sell the license to somebody? They're just hush hush about it. You
You know
know,
what?
um,
Now that you say that, you know what I think it is with Super 7, and I kind of talked about it the other day, and it really makes sense now. I think Super Seven is locked into Mighty Morphin. So MMPR, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers,
Hmm.
those first three seasons, I think that's all they can do. There's a lot of characters you can do, and a lot of toys, and a lot of Zords, and whatever you want. But I think they're locked in there. What I think is gonna happen with McFarlane, because McFarlane's gonna make some Power Rangers, the Page Punchers thing,
Yeah.
but you gotta figure if that goes well, or they have to have some sort of line to
Hmm.
continue this,
Yeah.
because something's got to keep going for Power Rangers, because Power Rangers is not like Ghostbusters. Going back to the Ghostbusters thing for a second, Ghostbusters, people are not gonna like it, and it's gonna be a hot take or whatever. But the truth is, Ghostbusters revolves around the movies. Your
Yes.
money, your toys, your everything revolves around the movies. The movie
Hmm.
does comes out, and oh, we need to come out with a wave of the Ghostbusters house. We need to get the Ecto One. We need to get the four characters. We need to get the ghosts or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
After the
Slimer.
after the movie is here and gone, in and out of the theaters, or people have kind of forgot about it or don't care, or it's in DVD, then they don't have another wave to follow up. It's
Yeah.
always, and then the Ghostbusters fans are usually pissed because they're like, "Hey, I want this to be continuous, but it just doesn't work." And this was tried with the TV show, the original Ghostbusters TV show.
Hmm.
They made a buttload of toys. Those with the weird face action things
Yeah.
that they're re-releasing now for I don't know, Gen Z's or Gen Y.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, a toy that was probably $4, they're selling it now for like 11, $12. Bro, that
Yeah.
that that didn't do well. I mean, it did okay, but it wasn't a smashing. Oh my god, everybody and their mother has the Ghostbusters thing. No, like
Yeah.
that didn't work out, and then Ghostbusters will go away, and then it came back for a little bit with Extreme Ghostbusters. You remember that show?
I do remember that. Yes.
That's a good show. It's not binge worthy though, because you watch one episode and you're all right. You're not gonna watch 20 episodes of Extreme Ghostbusters.
Oh, oh, speaking of episodes,
You know?
we still have a part two to do with the Saban's Ninja Turtles show. We never did part two. We still have that.
Yeah,
So stay tuned for that, guys, because I still have to watch the ending, the last few episodes of that, so we can do it.
yeah,
Um, yeah, as a refresher, because again, I hadn't seen them all in a long time. So, but
yeah.
I know people really like the Ninja Turtle episodes, and you know what? They're fun. Big Turtle fan.
Yeah, that'll probably
Um,
be a tone of the two-parter thing. I think that'll probably be another episode.
yeah,
Like we we
because
fin we do one episode with the second half of the show, and then one more episode where the Power Rangers meets the Ninja Turtles in space.
yeah, that'd be another episode. Because speaking of space, I never really watched that show, but when I heard the Ninja Turtles was gonna be on it, I jumped right in. Because that's a whole different storyline. Though that's a side storyline compared to the actual show. So it didn't matter if you watched Power Rangers in space. When the Turtles came on, it was a side project of the show.
Yeah,
It was basic. I think it was kind of more like a promotion for the new Turtle show.
yeah.
You know, um, but yeah, we'll get into that
Oh,
later.
yeah. To kind of end my point on the Ghostbusters thing, because this is a lot. This is the last thing I got for it. Ghostbusters. Recently, they stopped doing the plasma series for like 2, 3 years, right? Which is their collector version, their Star Wars Black series or their Lightning Collection, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But they didn't have all of the problems that the Lightning Collection had when it stopped. So people are gonna. It's gotta sell better because there's no bad taste in your mouth. There's a big difference between finishing a meal and having a bad meal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you finish the steak, it was a good steak, but yeah, that's it. Or you get an
Exactly.
undercooked steak, you're like, oh, this steak has the wrong head and two left hands, and there's no there's no paint on this one, and all of the SPD steaks look different. And no, brother,
No.
the A squad doesn't have the helmet of the steak, or it doesn't come with any steak sauce.
Oh, the
Yeah,
weapons. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's gonna be good. They just they just released some of the first figures for Frozen Empire, which is what I believe the next movie is called, which
That
is
is what the next movie's called, and I'm sorry I'm not a big Ghostbuster fan, but it looks amazing. And having the old Ghostbusters team back together, well, almost all the Ghostbusters team back together.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, it's oh, looks great. I'm actually gonna watch it when it comes out. Hey, I might even do a review on it. Who knows? Um, but yeah, it looks like an awesome movie. It looks like they have a good storyline. It looks like the graphics don't look too fake like some of the CGI out there today. You know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Now that you say that, this is kind of like just a one-off sentence, I guess, but that new the rise of the Planet of the Kingdom of the Apes thing, the basically Planet of the Apes 4, that
yeah.
looks god awful in CGI because that thing looks like you're staring at a green screen for 3 hours. And
Oh, I'm sure you are.
I saw the trailer for this movie, and I thought it was like a mashup of the other movies. Like I didn't know it was a new movie. That's how generic it looks.
Oh wow,
Like
that's
it's
crazy.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, what was your next topic? Or,
Well, it's kind of funny because you kind of mentioned it. The how the toy companies are not based around based around kids anymore. It's based around us, and how they're incorporating it for the younger generation, but not to buy toys. They're more incorporating it to buy video games. And
yeah,
it sounds weird, but if you think about it, they bringing Ninja Turtles, they're bringing in Star Wars and stuff like that into Fortnite, into some of these other games like for the younger kids, there was a game that came out on all platforms. It's called it was a fighting game, but it had SpongeBob, Ninja Turtles, it had all these Nickelodeon characters that we grew up
oh yeah,
on,
yeah.
but it's like Smash Bros, but it's for younger
Oh, I
kids.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon All Stars.
So
Yeah,
what I have noticed is that they realize that the kids themselves don't care about the toys. What they care about is the characters and what they can do. They still like the TV shows or the streaming shows or whatever they're on now, but they rather not play with toys. They rather be playing the video games. So
yeah,
they're still selling their IP to the kids, but they're not selling it the way they used to.
yeah.
And the good idea that is the Ninja Turtle movie that just came out, the one they're going to be doing the Rise of the Ninja Turtles for the series. Playmates put out a collectible line for the characters. They were like $55, and you got this really cool box art, and it was for the big turtle fans. And I saw a review on it, and this really made me think about this kids generation this day. Basically, it's the same one-to-one figure you could buy for $10, but with less accessories and a little more detail on the paint. And that was it. Other than that, it was the same $10 figure with more paint
Oh,
and
I know
less
what you're talking about.
accessories. Yeah.
Yeah,
And people that were reviewing it was kind of disappointed. They wasn't mad. They're just like, I could have done this myself. Could have got my friend that does, extra paint on like model cars could have done this. And honestly, like my son loves Ninja Turtles. But you know what? He'd rather be playing a video game with them in there instead of playing with the toy,
yeah,
and it's to me kind of like you guys are totally missing out the point of toys. The idea of kids playing with toys is imagination, making their own storyline, but the way they do it now is all through video games.
yeah.
And I remember being a kid and having the Atari 2600, the NES, and it was play for maybe 15 minutes, maybe an hour tops, depending on what I was playing, like Zelda or something. But then I'd go outside and play. I would
Hmm.
go outside and play. Today's kids are right here. This is it. If it's not YouTube, not some kind of streaming service, it's video games. That's all they care about. And
Yeah,
then that's cool and all, but they're trying to do that to the adults now too. And Apple is the worst person at the moment to do that. I don't know if you've seen the Apple headset, the new Apple like glasses type thing. It looks like a VR headset, but it's totally clear. You can see your eyes through it, and it's like your whole world is a big screen with big apps and stuff you can click on it, and
Is it
that,
like the Oculus?
it's like
The
It looks like an Oculus,
okay.
but it's totally clear. You see it's through it like it's day, like it's just day.
Okay.
So it's like
Oh,
a big screen. You can actually do this and make the screen go big, or do this and make the screen go small. And it made me feel. I didn't actually use it, but it made me feel sick inside. It's like, are you really wanting us to wear this headset 24/7 and then still deal with the world, the everyday world? It's like, is this what we're gonna become? Is this our next step? Is using artificial intelligence to live, to become the true screen itself? I
yeah.
mean, cell phones do that pretty well already. People get stuck into TikTok and stuff. But
Yeah.
back to the kids thing, what I was talking about was that, as a collector of certain figures and certain things in life, kids don't care. Kids do not care about toys. Now, when they're like really super young, yeah, but then they get to the age of playing games, it's done. It's just done.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the closest thing I had from my son that he would actually that it was a toy was they had. I don't know if you ever done it, but the Hasbro selfie collection.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I got him the Mandalorian one for his birthday last year, and he loved it. He loved it, but he didn't play with it. He literally looked at it and put it on a shelf, and it just sits there. He didn't even pose it or nothing. He just, thanks, Dad, and that was it. It was like,
Yeah.
you don't want to pose it in a certain way or nothing. No, no, it just sits there. I'll go back to my video games. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
you know, it's like day and night. It's like when I was a kid, I would get something, really cool, and I would mess with it. But kids today, it just kind of bums me out, really. It's like I don't have to buy you toys. I just have to buy you video games.
Yeah.
It's not good, in my opinion. It's not good for a lot of things. And it's not like you're playing a video game by yourself. No, they have to be online with all their friends on Discord and stuff.
It's a new world. That headset thing, I actually saw that in 1999 in an episode of Futurama
Yeah.
where they were, advertising the chip where they put it in your eye and you could
Yeah.
constantly get the hypnotic toad and you could get all these advertisements for mom and all these things for Futurama. Fu-
Same idea. Same idea with this new Apple
Futurama
glasses
did this in
thing. Yeah.
99, bro.
Well, you got to think about something funny. This is still the same type of topic. Simpsons. Simpsons have this future machine, as some people call it, where they will say something in one of the episodes, and like 5 to 6 years later, it happens in real life, and it's kind of funny. Because everybody's like, "Oh, that's just hilarious. It's never gonna happen." Donald Trump will never become president. Few years later, Donald Trump's president. It's stuff like that that they just like make fun of, and you think, "Oh, well, it's never gonna happen,"
Yeah,
and it happens. And Futurama's done that same thing too.
yeah.
Um,
Simpsons has been always pretty good at, forecasting the future. And it's
yeah,
crazy to think about even saying something like that, but it's true. Like there's a lot of conspiracy videos out there, and not to get on the whole thing for the Simpsons,
no,
but the thing is, they're right. Like they said they talk the Simpsons talk about the merger with Fox and Disney. They talk about certain people being elected to the seat. Uh, Concerts going terrible. They rampaging viruses, which was
yeah,
basically the pandemic, and a lot of these things kind of add up for it. So there's the Simpsons is ahead of the curve, or they're
yeah.
creating the curve. Who knows?
Exactly. So I'm gonna say something real fast. Anybody that's watching this, first of all, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing and liking the videos. But also, leave a comment. Leave a comment and tell us what you want to talk about, what you want to hear us talk about. And one of the things about a podcast is that it's always open free form. So if there's something you go, oh well, I disagree with that, you could always type in the comments and we can look at it. And I do respond to these comments. I do take time out of my personal day and do respond. And if it's something I don't understand how to respond to, or something I think that it takes me and Masco to respond to, we'll talk about it before we respond. So yeah, leave lots of comments, and we can even add them to our show if it's something like it's really like a big comment, like something we're going to talk about. We could actually put it up and put your name up here, even show the comment, and we can talk about it. You know,
Yeah,
uh, just mentioning that because I've done that before. Put a comment up that somebody said that I just thought was a good comment to talk about, and you know, and like I
yeah,
said, don't forget to like and subscribe. I mean, that's what we're hoping for is, more people watching us. We're not looking for anything, we're not looking for monetization or anything, just knowing that people are watching us and having fun with us.
yeah. I said it before, and I'll say it again. We do this for fun. We don't
Yeah.
do this for, you know what? The hell with my job. I'm a full time YouTuber. No, or especially me. Hell, I'm a cartoonist and an animator. I'm not gonna drop up my cartoons and my toy making and all my stuff. This is my off time. So this
Yeah.
is what I enjoy, and I hope the fans that watch enjoy it. You know.
And me personally, I am theoretically trying to get to that 1,000 level subscribe on my DTV 83. But you know what? Honestly, it's gonna take me a long time because one, I don't got the money that certain YouTubers have. I don't got the time because I have kids. I got a full-time job. But you know what? Is when I do the videos and stuff, I have fun doing it, and it's really cool to have comments. I think that's one of the best things about YouTube is knowing your guys' opinion, because that way I know as a YouTube creator, and even a toy creator, if they have feedback on their toys, oh well this happened and that happened, they can go look, this because you're a toy creator, but you can go look at the companies that are helping you out, going, why is this happening? you
Yeah.
know uh Feedback is always the best thing in any situation, because that will tell you if you're doing something good, something wrong. uh not to get personal, but I'm a professional chef, and when somebody gives me criticism about, oh, this is the best thing I've ever had, it takes me a second to go, really? Why? you know because it's just something that they think is good,
Yeah.
and it does go, oh, awesome, I'm gonna make this again. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are watching. I'm very happy, and I'm enjoying all the comments.
Yeah. We're like I said. This is our off time. This is we
Yeah,
do this for fun. We don't do this for anything else than just uh I guess relaxation. It's because we
pretty
we don't come
much.
out we don't come out here hard selling. Get the Patreon, for the love of God. Let's see who's in the chat.
No,
Da, 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 da.
uh,
Oh, look, there's a super chat. Well, leave people alone with
no,
all that, bro.
and
Leave
like
that to
this
other people.
this is the first time in a long time that we actually said like and subscribe. It doesn't usually happen. Usually, it just slips in my mind. It's a sender YouTube thing, but to me, this isn't a YouTube channel. This is just a straight up podcast.
Yeah,
But and again, let me ask you guys this, in the people that watch this. If you guys know how to take a podcast and put it on like Apple or something, let me know, because it'd be kind of fun to take these podcasts and put them in different sections and have other people be able to
yeah.
hear
To
it. Because that's
put
something
them
I
on
want to do with
Spotify. Yeah,
Spotify. This is something I want to do, but actually, knowledge wise, I have no idea how to do that, and that's why we started this on YouTube, because I know YouTube. I know how to do all that stuff, but I would love to have it on Spotify. I would love to have it on Apple Music, Pandora, whatever's out there that does, podcasts.
we're gonna get it on the AOL, the discs, the where you get 10,000 hours for free.
Yeah,
Go
and we're gonna
really
make
retro. That's the retro versions.
and we're gonna make the dial-up sound too, that annoying dial-up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that sounds like you're cleaning a train engine or something.
right. And don't forget, don't pick up the phone. Do not pick up that phone, because when you pick up the phone, it disconnects you right from the internet.
Yeah,
I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my god, you two are so old. Well, yeah, of course we are. I mean, 80s baby. I remember we're an 80s baby. Of course, we grew up in that time period.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get back to the show. Sorry, a little tangent there. Uh,
Yeah.
what's your next subject?
Okay, so my next topic, what everybody's been clamoring to talk about, a Mama's Family reunion. No,
Oh, I thought it was the Golden Girls.
no, you can't do that with they're all gone. You'd have to reboot it, and I mean, there's
Yeah,
things you could do, but you know
CGI
what?
it in. Yeah.
Yeah, the next topic I wanted to talk about was actually Super Seven ish, which
Okay.
is the I wanted to talk about this. These are the original Toxic Crusader figures. This is
Okay.
Toxie, and this is Doctor Killamoff right here. See,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
they've done like 6 or 7 different versions of Toxie, which is the exact same sculpt. They just keep changing the paint on,
Does
which
not
is
surprise me.
they come out with a Patriot version. They've come out with a radioactive version. They've come out with the regular version, the toy version, the screen accurate version. They've done a lot of versions.
Hmm.
They've done a green and white glow in the dark version. They've done a lot of versions of this figure. Right? Here's my point. Why don't you make the bad guy, bro? What the hell is taking so long? You've had this license for like 7 years. You still can't make the principal bad guy. You still can't make Doctor Killumoff. Like what the? They just the and I like this line. The show is what it is, but as far as like action figures, like most people, this is basically a Ninja Turtle cousin. It was made by Playmates. A lot of the writers that worked on Ninja Turtles were working on Toxic Crusaders and DuckTales at the time,
DuckTales. Yeah.
so they're kind of like play cousins, and they fit really good because these are basically all mutants, for
Yeah.
one reason or another. And I'm just like, because I've heard Brian talk about he has the sculpt and he wants to release a Doctor Killamoff, but like it's the weirdest freaking thing because it's like having like the Star Wars, like we have like 40 Luke Skywalkers, but we don't have any Vader. How the hell do you not have a Vader? Like,
Right.
what's wrong with you, bro? That,
They don't like the father figure. That's what.
I know, but the simple thing of here's the good guy, here's the bad guy, and
Right.
then
Yeah.
you're gonna re-release things multiple times because this is not a 5-star license. This isn't Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers
Well,
or
even
He-Man.
if it's a 5-star license, they already are releasing, multiple different types of Ninja Turtles, glow in the dark ones, the standard ones. Again, now they're doing it with the Power Rangers, Green Ranger and Green Ranger,
The glowing one, yeah.
neon Green Ranger or whatever they want to call it. Yeah, the one I'm not collecting. But yeah, it's just Super Seven. Again, as we know, Super 7 takes forever to release any toy line. It seems like they have it in the date line. This one doesn't. This one does not, as far as I know. But, I'm just saying, in general, Super 7 takes forever. And it seems like even if they have all these brilliant ideas, they don't
Yeah,
always execute them. They'll talk about it, but they don't execute it. And, again, I would love to talk to Brian and see what he says. I would love to do it on here. I would love to do it on my channel. It doesn't matter. I think if we did it here with Brian, we would all have certain things we would want to talk about,
yeah,
Power Ranger line, Turtle line, Toxic Crusaders, all sorts of lines. I mean, why do they lose the license to Disney? Stuff like that. It's just,
yeah,
because I'm curious about the toy side of the business for Super Seven because I see those dates. I see how they put like last time we were talking about the Ninja Turtles where they're gonna fall. I mean, you got I think it was what did I say in that video? 9 and then 7, and it's like
yeah,
why 9 then 7? Why not 7 then 9? And again, Super 7 could say, "Oh, push back, push back, push back." It's Super 7. I love the figures. Figures are great. I have no problem with them, even if they pop and squeak like I hate. The detail work, awesome. The Ninja Turtle detail work, Power Rangers, uh, all the ones I've seen online look beautiful, and they do a great job with detail work.
yeah,
But it's just what most people complain about is they're never coming out. They're never coming
yeah,
out. They're taking too long. They're taking too long. And
Yeah.
Are
We,
they using the same factory that Hasbro is using? So that's why it takes so long. Are they using it somebody's factory that they don't know the actual person? Uh,
well,
there's
I
there's something that we could talk about later.
yeah,
About factory use because uh, one thing Mascara has over a lot of people is that he's a toy maker and he understands all this. Where I, as a consumer slash reviewer, all I know is that my product's taking too long. What the heck's going on here? You
yeah,
know?
yeah. I could talk about some of the issues with toy making, and I could literally be here blue in the face forever. I mean, just telling you the pitfalls and the problems with toy
Yeah.
making because it's not an easy industry. And I've said this before. It's stupidly complicated. It's retroactively stupid though. Just the manufacturing side of it, where we have, and I've said this on another thing. We have this thing called the bullet train, where I can
Hmm.
literally go from one city to another city in like 3 minutes, but they
Yeah.
can't figure out how to, plastic, press these figures into releasing into a regular price.
Right.
And here's my thing here, going back to not get so lost in the weeds, if you will.
Hmm.
I'd get into the Super 7 Toxic Crusader line, and I think a lot of people would too, if there was some sort of encouragement that it's gonna keep going, because you can't just keep releasing Toxie over and over and over and over and over
No.
without releasing the bad guy. If you at least have the good guy and the bad guy, okay, eventually he's gonna release the other characters. This figure is way too old as far as like due to be out, not to be out. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, and I give Super Seven credit because they're good at bouncing back. Like, because this isn't a burying Super Seven podcast, by the way. We
No.
could we could be critical, but at the same time, we praise when it's good, and we try to
I
be.
mean, honestly, I love the Super 7 line. I will talk blue in my face about the Power Rangers Super 7 line.
Yeah,
But it's not about what line I collect, what line Masquerade collects. His the thing that we're talking about right now is the Crusader line and how they're not promoting it, how they're not doing anything, and it's just it sucks because like I used to watch Toxic Adventure the cartoon and the movies. They had tons of video games that they could deal with. Uh, yeah, and who knows? Trauma Vision could always release something new. I mean, the guy's still alive to this day. The guy that creates Trauma Vision,
yeah,
and
Lloyd
yeah,
Kaufman.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it'd be kind of cool if he released something new. As far as I know, he hasn't done anything in years. Besides
Oh,
Angry Video Game Nerd, he did that. He did the Angry Video Game Nerd episode, and that was funny, just way out there funny. You
yeah.
know.
Since we're talking Toxic Crusaders, I wanted to mention this because not a lot of people know this. Uh, Trick or Treat Studios is a smaller toy making studio, and
Hmm.
they got the license somehow to reproduce the Toxic Crusader line from Playmates. So they're
Okay.
re-releasing these, and this was up on Big Bad Toy Store. Not this exact figure, but pretty like 90% there.
Oh wow.
And they're doing Toxie, because I saw the Toy Fair thing, and they did Ivanka, the his girlfriend. I think they did the boss of the city, the fat dude. I forgot what his name is, but the boss of the city
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that that gets the payoffs from Doctor Killamoff. So that's a cool thing. They get to get the license from Playmates and Varner Studio, because Varner Studio was the actual sculptors of these figures. But Super Seven keeps dragging their feet or something. I don't know what it is. And to their credit, the Brian did say something that about the Toxic Crusaders reaction line. He Because people were asking, oh, when's Wave 2 coming for the reaction line? Because since it's a smaller brand, you get
Hmm.
what you get. You be happy with what you get. You know what I mean? Even if it is crumbs sometimes. and he said that no, Ryan said this on multiple podcasts. Hey, he wanted to do it. There was ideas to do more characters and do more things, but they just didn't sell. And that's not on him, and that's not on any company. If something doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. If it takes you
Yeah,
forever, now if it takes you forever and ever and ever and ever and ever to the point that people stop giving a damn, that's your fault.
that
Once
is,
it's,
yes.
you know what I mean? Because it's like the boy that cried wolf. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. It never comes, and then you know what I mean. Or the day that it comes, it's too late. But
Exactly.
you have a window to hit these things and these markers, and you know, Super Seven. I think they they get way too, and a lot of people have said this, and I agree with it, that they get way too many licenses.
I
Yesterday,
was just gonna say that. I was just going to say that.
yeah,
Yes.
yesterday they announced that they got the license to do American Psycho.
Why?
Why? I don't know if they're gonna try to do an Ultimates version of the main character, or him in like the bloody code or whatever, but it's like
Yeah.
you're kind of all over the map because they do a lot of skateboarding things. They still do 5-star stuff like Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers in the reaction line. They
Yeah.
also they've been getting they've been getting recently a lot of the hip hop lines too. Like, oh, we get the reaction figures for Biggie Smalls and for Tupac and for Old Dirty Bastard and all these people. Like,
Well, see, I don't. I really don't mind the reaction figure ones because they're just so basic, and those come
yeah,
out pretty much on time as far as I can tell. But
yeah,
it's when they get into the 7 inches, the real deal, I call it. That's
yeah,
when it takes forever. But
yeah,
yeah, I only could think of two subjects to talk about really tonight.
yeah,
So if you have a third one,
yeah.
we can talk about it.
Yeah, I actually have a third one. And with this, we'll kind of wrap up the show because that's pretty much it. Uh, my third topic is the DC extended universe,
Okay.
the cinematic universe, quote unquote.
Yeah.
The universe that has Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman walking through every one of these movies. It's like, what's the deal here? Like, nobody seems to be able to figure out a timeline for this stuff and a proper sequential going. I just saw the Suicide Squad movie again because
Okay.
I'm a guy and Margot Robbie is Margot Robbie. So that, that's why you watch it. But let's
Yeah.
not kid ourselves. Let's be real. But they go ahead and they switch it, and then they do a semi reboot, and then they call it with James Gunn, and they had the Suicide Squad, and then they have another reboot, and then they call it Harley Quinn and the Fantastic Birds of Prey, which is a movie that they kept changing the title of because I've seen it advertised as Birds of Prey and this and that, and like
Hmm.
this whole DC universe, the cinematic universe, seems so messy and convoluted. I'm kind of happy it's ending, but at the same time, I wish it would have been better because I like a lot of these DC characters. I like Batman. I
Yeah.
like Superman. I like
Well,
there's
I,
it's like all
I,
over the place.
yeah. Well, again, I haven't got to watch the Flash, the new one,
I
where
saw it.
where he meets Batman, and what I mean by meets Batman, I mean he meets the real
Keaton.
Batman, in my
Yeah,
opinion. Yeah, Keaton.
yeah,
That is Batman. I don't care. I don't care. That is Batman, and he will always be my Batman. And anyways,
yeah.
yeah. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't had time to watch a lot of movies, and I kind of regret it at the moment because I really just need to sit down and watch a few things that I haven't got to watch. But when it comes to the DC universe and all that, the collabs, uh, again, it's I think they're just trying to do something cool, and when it ends, it ends. It just gives opportunity, like Supergirl. Like I know she's in the Flash movie, Supergirl. You
Yes,
know, gives
but
that's an opportunity to start putting
it's not
her.
the Supergirl that you're thinking of. It's a it's Supergirl. It's not the blonde, Melissa Benoit character. It's a
Okay,
different. It's from a different timeline and a whole different thing. It's a short haired girl
yeah,
with a full bodysuit. Because like I know what you're talking about, and I'm accustomed to the Supergirl with like with like it's basically a cheerleader outfit with an F on
Yeah,
it. Yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a cute outfit, but still, you know what I mean. It
But
is what it
again,
is.
it still opens up, even though it's not the same one. I don't know. I haven't seen it. You have.
Yeah,
It still opens up for, oh, we can make a Supergirl movie because now people know we have the concept of what
people have
Supergirl can be.
people have no confidence in these movies. That's why every DC movie that has been coming out the past like 5 6 years has been tanked hard.
Yeah,
Blue Beetle didn't make any money. Shazam 2 didn't make any money. Uh, I think the only one that's kind of like made a little bit of money is Aquaman 2 that's come out recently, and but that's because Jason Momoa more than anything,
uh,
because it's not really that. Oh man, I was clamoring for Aquaman 2. People have been waiting for Aquaman 2 for like 6 years already, like, since before the Amber Heard thing, and like this movie was already done a long
yeah.
time ago, and the post
You,
production and this and that.
there are two shows I would love to see rebooted or made into movies.
Yeah.
And yes, they were kids shows. One would be VR Troopers, and two would be a really funny one that I don't know if you ever watched it or not. Digimon. And the reason I want those two, because it goes in today's technology, especially Digimon.
Hmm.
Digimon was, I don't know. Do you ever watch Digimon?
Yeah, I like
Okay.
Digimon.
Okay. So you remember Digimon's all based around the computer.
Yeah.
And so I think I don't remember it 100%. So correct me if I'm wrong. But the monsters they fight in the computer were like viruses. A sort, not like real viruses, but that was kind of the idea concept, if I remember right.
Okay,
Taking
so
care of.
basically the idea for Digimon is these kids somehow opened a portal into the digital
Mhm.
world, where a
Yes.
bunch of monsters or viruses, if you will, exist.
Yeah.
And somehow one of the bad guy viruses gets on Earth, right? Gets into our
Yeah.
dimension. And then the good guy gets a Digimon morpher, if you will, and then they
Hmm.
get a Digi egg, and that
Yeah.
evolves like 20 times, and that's basically the concept. And they fight. The first season, I know what you're talking about, and the first season wasn't bad, but I
No.
think what I think some some of the better Digimon shows are with less characters, which is like
Hmm.
the first season of Digimon that had like 9 leading characters. Okay, there's Ty, the Izzy, the kid with the blonde hair, the kid with the
Hmm.
glasses that has the thing, the white seal that turns into like a
Yeah.
like a shaggy dog when he's
Hmm.
digivolved. There's the girl that's supposed to be the preppy girl, and then like I think the eighth leading character is like Ty's sister, and
Yeah,
she
I
gets
think so.
and she gets like a Green Ranger Tommy type character as her
Hmm.
Digimon, and like Angel Woman and all of this. And like, come on,
Digimon.
that's
Yeah.
that's too many damn leads, bro. You don't need 9 freaking leads. It doesn't leave any space for the bad guys. That's why
No.
with Digimon, the writing is very blockish. Like, okay, for 10 episodes, we have to fight Demimon, and then the next 10 episodes, Goromon or some
Yeah.
BS stuff, and you're always leading up to the big bad guy that's like some super 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 duper computer or some super super duper virus,
Hmm.
like, oh,
But
Satanomon or something, like, what I mean, like, there's
but
there's
yeah, yeah.
Devilmon, so there's
Oh yeah,
probably,
yeah.
yeah.
But
So
again, I think that kind of, even if they did a CGI version of it, I think it would go over very well today with the kids.
it's very
Don't make
toyetic. It's
don't make it
very
don't.
toyetic.
It is, but don't make a kid movie of it. Make it a teenager slash adult type Digimon movie. Same thing with the VR Troopers. Make it more for the adult side that used to watch it as kids.
Yeah.
But again, it relates to today's technology, and it would be probably a really good outgoing movie. But again, they can mess it up very easily too. But you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It goes hand in hand to what's going on today. Back then, it was a good show, but it really didn't go hand to hand with what was going on.
Yeah.
and of course, Saban would have to write off on it, or the company from Japan that owned it had to
Totally.
write off on it.
Totally. Yeah. It's totally.
Yeah. So, but I think those two would be an awesome movie, and I think they would blow the Marvel series away at the moment because Marvel is just the movies Marvel. Let's make that clear. I'm not talking about the comic books. I'm not talking about anything else. Just the movies. That
Hmm.
I think it would probably do better. Something just so out left field that people go, oh, I remember that. I remember that. Would probably go, and then you'd be like, oh, I got kids. Let's bring the kids along with us until you find out it's like rated PG-13 or something. But um,
I
yeah,
think it would, if hypothetically speaking, I think Digimon will work really well as sort of like a teen show, like Wednesday or Stranger Things, something on Netflix,
there you
live
go.
action.
That would work. Yeah,
But keep the
because
type short. Don't give me 12 characters, bro. Don't. You'll never get any character development out of 12 fucking characters. Sorry to curse, but you're not
yeah,
gonna get enough character arcs, and all 12 of these characters have to fall in love with 12 other characters and 12 other characters. Look, Digimon's big, not problem, but one of its hurdles, if you will, is that there's like 7 versions of the same character.
yeah.
Okay,
It,
so let's stick to one character. Okay, Agumon, right? That's Tai's main character. That's the
Little
little
Dragon.
yeah, the little
Yeah.
orangey dinosaur. Yeah, he turns into Greymon, and then he turns into
Hmm.
Metal Greymon, and then he turns into War Greymon, and then he turns into the merged version with the wolf, the blue wolf, and there's
Yeah.
another version, and then well, plus there's the version that's the egg, because remember these are the everything comes out as an egg, and then whatever. Then there's the head version where it's basically like a newborn head, but just
Hmm.
like a floating head before it turns into the actual, kid.
Character. Yeah.
Yeah, the kid character of Agumon or whatever. So, bro, like that's too many freaking variables, bro. You tighten that up. Nobody's gonna be able to remember. Yeah, hypothetically, it's morphin time. Yeah, give me the Agumon, Greymon, Warmon, Kazuzimon. Nobody's gonna remember all of these names. Tighten that up.
No. Yeah.
I
Well,
always liked it too. But it was fun.
if I was gonna make a TV show like that, like you said, tighten it up, I would do like season one. Halfway through season one, you bring in a secondary character, and then in
Yeah,
season three, those two characters go for half the season. You make another character appearance,
yeah,
and you don't cartoon it. You don't cartoon it where everything comes in real fast. I see your point of view. I really do. Uh, yeah, you would break it down, but not like the Ninja Turtles where the storyline took half the movie. that
yeah.
that was the new
I
Ninja Turtles.
I keep it at 5, maybe
Hmm.
4, and then at the end you bring in the Green Ranger character or whatever the fifth character, or
Yeah, exactly.
five Digi trainers and 5 Digimon. You're already looking at a 10 character cast.
Hmm.
That's enough. You don't need to add. Oh, here's the Ty's little sister and the other one's little brother,
Yeah.
and it got even more expanded when they did season 2 of the. I don't know how far you followed Digimon, but season 2 they basically did a time jump, so they're
I
not like kids, they're like preteens now,
yeah. I remember.
and some of them are actually teenagers.
I think I I
So
think I I think I watched the whole series, but again, how long ago was that? How old
yeah,
was I? Yeah.
yeah.
I just remember the plot base of it. Just like I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh in a long time, but I remember the plot base of Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. I wasn't a big fan of, but I had a family member that was, and I watched it with them. There was a lot of shows that I watched because I liked them, and then I watched because someone else wanted me to watch it.
Mhm.
You know, and it still happens today with my kids. My kids are like, "You gotta watch this anime named JoJo," and I'm like, "JoJo, what?" And I watch this like I don't understand this, but he understands everything. Yeah, no, I don't remember past season one of Digimon, but I just think again it'd be a great movie. VR
Yeah.
Troopers would be a good movie. Big Bad Beetleborgs to me was a kind of a joke show. I watched a few episodes of it not too long ago. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and I just was like, Nope, my opinion still has not changed. This is just crap. Because I was trying to give it a second shot as a little older, getting the idea,
Okay.
but this idea that Saban might have had with it, and it was just no,
Okay.
no.
Well, to kind of end the show, I'll give you like just like two sentences on what I think of Big Bad Beetleborgs. I think it's a cool concept, but there's bullshit in the middle. Okay, this is about three kids that find these morphers and become the Big Bad Beetleborgs, right? And
No,
they
no.
uh,
These
and
are
they
these
get
are
no the Big Bad Beetleborgs, right?
yeah. This gets worse. It's actually three kids reading a comic book about this big bad Beetleborgs. Went to a haunted house, met
Yeah,
this weird
and
ghost,
Flubber, yeah,
Flubber, and they get one wish because he's a genie, or three wishes and he's a genie, or something like that. And they said we want to be superheroes, and the comic book falls out, and he turns them into superheroes. But when he does that, he also
he
releases all the monsters out of the comic book. And it was
yeah
just
he
like,
opens the
you
door.
gotta be kidding me,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that show. I don't know why they decided to like muscle in all of the Universal monster ripoffs. Like, oh, here's Frankenbeans and here's Mama Goldstein or something like
Yeah, and then you got
the
the
bootleg list.
vampire.
Yeah, and like, come on,
Yeah.
bro, that's bullshit.
Well, again, it was Saban.
I
Saban
thought it
uses
was
one.
fun. There was some cool ideas there, but just I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah. Well, all right, guys, this has been tons of fun. I hope you enjoyed this sort of free-form episode. David, you got anything else to
Eh,
close out?
Again, like you said, I hope you guys had fun. Leave comments. Let us know what you guys want to talk about, or what we should talk about, and or free format yourself. Let us know your opinions of what you want to talk about, what you think is awesome, what you think is cool. Let us know, and we'll catch you on the next podcast very soon. See ya.
All right, see you.
Peace.